So I've been shopping around and I've identified Hankook iON tyres. And the reason for that is that, well, the original set, the one that came with my car, the Tesla Model Y in 2022, were Hankook. And when they ship out new ones right now, they're also Hankook. So I kind of figure stick with the same, yeah? Plus also these are supposed to be quieter. That's a very important thing to me because if you know, whenever I do car reviews, I use a decibel meter to measure sound levels inside of a car at stationary 60, 80 and 100 k's per hour. And the Tesla Model Y, my Tesla Model Y, 2022 model by the way, has been the absolute loudest vehicle I've ever tested. So I hope by changing these tyres, I'm gonna be able to address one of my biggest beefs with this car. Is it its biggest beef? The aircon's the biggest beef, but you know what I mean, you know me. Anyway, so let's get down to Geelong because I've organised the tyre change down there, and then we'll do some sound tests and give you my thoughts on, you know, this is actually a good upgrade or not. I'm here with Andrew from Associated Cold Tread Tyres in Geelong, and I'll leave a link below. And Andrew, I've just watched you guys fit my tyres, so thanks so much.
That's fine. Pleasure to help.
It's cool. Now, first up, I was amazed by one, the ability of that machine over there to do so many different things. What's that called? And like, tell me more.
Basically, just called a tyre fitting machine. Yeah. It's here to make life easy for the boys.
Right, yeah. It's quite incredible, and just the amount of, you know, pressure and distortion you can get on the tyre to get it on and off. It's insane, absolutely insane. And also learning how tyres are balanced, that's amazing technology, like right there.
Oh, it is, yeah. And without balancing, your car will vibrate. And
okay.
Very uncomfortable ride.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And I just loved how the laser sort of goes, this is where you need to put this weight on this side and this one on that side.
Certainly makes life easier.
Definitely.
Not like when I first started with the old bubble balancers.
Yeah, cool. Now, when you're thinking about tyres, what should you be thinking about?
Well, basically, the tyre's the most important part of the car. It's between you and the road. Safety is probably the number one feature. You want a tyre that's going to brake well, handle well, and perform in all conditions, wet and dry. So
some people will want to, you know, potentially save money, and others, you know, they've got a budget. We've all got a budget, but what's your top advice? You know, like, is there real savings in cheaper tyres?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Personally, when it comes to budget, all depends on the back pocket. This day and age, yes, people are trying to save as much money as possible.
Yeah.
But the old theory, the better the quality, the more you've got to pay for it. Mm-hmm. You put a cheaper option on the car, may not handle as well, may not grip as well, and longevity generally not quite as good as going up a few more steps.
Yeah.
You may think you're saving money initially, but in the long run, probably end up spending more money because you happen to buy a set of tyres probably 12 months earlier than you would have had to do previously with a better set of tyres.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll put the actual number below, but I've done more than 50,000 kilometres on my first set of Hankook, and it was close to the tread marker, right? Yeah?
Yeah, you're virtually down to the tread wear indicator. So you got your money put out of it.
Just in case the cops are watching, it was a millimetre left, yeah? They're legal. So hopefully these new iON, they will, you know, do a similar sort of range?
Yeah, no, it's what was designed around the car, come out of OE on the car.
Yeah.
Should no reason perform the same as what the original set did.
Cool, awesome. Now, just what do you guys do here? Because obviously I'm seeing more than just tyre fitting.
No, business is a family-owned business, been established for over 50 years. We do everything from little trolley tyres right through to great big earth-moving equipment.
Wow. Yeah, I'll put some footage there because that's insane what they're doing over in the other shed.
Yeah, no, like I say, we cater for basically every tyre need. From small through to big.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much, Andrew. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
And now we need to go to the noise test because, you know, it's a Model Y. It's a noisy little beast. So I'm hoping that these are actually going to improve the ride, grip, all that sort of stuff. But importantly for me, the noise levels. So let's see how we go with that. Yeah, cheers.
Enjoy the motoring.
Thank you. For those who are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Subscribe. It really helps out. Whenever I review an electric car, I use a decibel meter, and the reason for that is that it's very accurate, and it's calibrated, and it's nothing that you would find on your mobile phone, and not prone to interference. So whenever I'm doing these tests, I actually do them identically in the same places for all cars, noting the conditions in which I shoot. And so the first thing I do is I turn off the aircon. That's the first thing. I try and find the smoothest bit of road I can, so I don't want any coarse gravel stuff, the ones that are very good at draining away water. No, I'm looking for the smoothest stuff possible. So the very first spot's actually right here near my home, in Water Gardens. And then we're going to go onto an 80 km/h zone, and then like on the freeway, and then into 100. And each time I'm very conscientious to stay away from other cars, and I do this. I actually hold up this decibel meter, and I get a reference level between across about 5-10 seconds. And I have to be absolutely quiet when I do that, and I've got to make sure there's nothing that's rattling around this car, and then I get my measurement level. And you'll see how very sensitive this is. I'm going to hold it about my ear height so you can actually see it. Anyway, whenever you see this table, know that I've done my absolute best to try and make it as equal and as fair to all car makers as possible. And when I was thinking about new tyres, look, there's a lot of choice out there. And so I thought to myself, you know what, if Tesla's done all this testing and probably have worked with Hankook to find the best tyre, I might as well go with them, right? I chose these because, well, they're roughly the same price, same-ish, as like the Pro Pilots and some other EV dedicated tyres out there. Now, I've got to shut up now because this is a 60 km/h zone, and it's nice and smooth, and I've got no cars around me. Here we go. All right, that was a good test. Oh, the battery is very full. I've got very little regen happening. So that was excellent. I don't know what it was, but we'll wait till we get home and I'll put it on screen. So anyway, I went with these ones because they supposedly have a 29% reduction in sound, and 9% of that comes from the foam lining that goes inside the tyre. Now, Teslas, I think, have always had foam lining in the tyres, and my previous set did too. But the difference is these tyres, the compound is different, the tread is slightly different. It looks the same to me, by the way, but if I'm to believe the marketing stuff, what you find on the website, it looks to be that, it's actually different. And just subjectively, before I did this test, I actually did think it was quieter. It might have been me thinking, I really do hope so, because you spend all this money on tyres, and you hope for a few things. One is they're going to give you a long life. Like my previous Hankook tyres, they gave me over 50,000 kilometers of range, and I must say that's the best I've ever had for any car tyre. So these ones also got very good longevity. And I think, when you're thinking of changing tyres, I in the past have definitely purchased cheap ones. Yep, I'm not guilty of it. That's the thing. You kind of think to yourself, how long am I going to keep the car for? And is it safe? And if it ticks all the boxes, it's like, yeah, just buy what you want to buy, yeah? But there has to be something said for buying good quality tyres to actually last a long time. And my previous set, the Hankooks, they lasted ages, so I'm hoping these also give me good longevity. And I don't know if this video is in any way going to be not sponsored, because I haven't asked for sponsorship before, but just maybe Hankook or the guys who fit the tyres will actually do some sort of special for you. So just look below and check to see if that's still available. Anyway, we're getting up to 100. And I've got a good gap here, nothing around me, and let's get to 100 and set it. All right, that's a good sample again. And now we've got to go down to 80. All right, well, what do I reckon? Today there's a little bit of wind, dry conditions, dry road. So on the table, that's what I write down. And I've been thinking to myself, by the way, when I do that table, instead of showing the low and the high for each area, I might average it. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll show the average in total. Yeah, let's do that. I'll do an average for the total. Yeah, using the lowest figure. So the best you can get from a car, the average of those. Yeah, I'll do that. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, let's get back to the studio and yeah, we'll talk some more about the tech behind these tyres, and hopefully, has actually made them quiet, made this car quieter. Let's go back there now. All right, so a few days later, I've looked at the data, I've done some analysis, and the results, well, they're pretty impressive. But first, I reckon I didn't do a very good job in the car. I'm detailing why I went with this particular set of tires, because I could have chosen some other brands. In fact, I could have chosen non-EV tires. And I'll just caution anyone out there, maybe don't do that, because electric vehicles, they can be heavier, but more importantly, you want a tread that it gives you more distance. Okay, it's called rolling resistance. And if you just go for bog standard any tires, you're not going to get as much range out of those tires compared to going with ones like this that are actually designed to give you maximum range. And and another key important thing was that it turns out these tires, and I didn't know this, have got like a 70,000 kilometer warranty on them. That's 5 years, 70,000 kilometers. And if you don't get that many kilometers from them, Hankook would do some sort of discount deal. So they did an example, get them rotated at a Hankook service center sort of place. And if they don't reach that milestone, let's say they have 7,000 kilometers to go, knock that off the 70,000, I'm talking about a 10% discount. So the example on the website, I'll leave a link below. Let's say the next set of tires cost you $1,000, Hankook will give you $100 towards the next set of tires. And I've never had any tires that even lasted me 51,000 kilometers, let alone, well, this set will hopefully 70,000 kilometers. So we'll see how that goes, right? And the other thing too is, not that I've ever done this in my life, is that they do like a 14-day money-back guarantee. God, I sound like an advert, and this is not an advert. It is so not an advert. But I research this stuff. I don't just randomly go and buy stuff. I'm thinking, yeah, best savings, best that I can afford, and one that gives me the longest life and all this other stuff. So yeah, get a brand specific electric vehicle tire, gives you better range, so you can go further on the one charge, that's good, and ones that give you a lot of kilometers. But I diverge. The important thing is that, the Tesla Model Y has always, despite the best of conditions in the past, was the loudest car I've ever tested. And by fitting these tires, it has improved it by, get this, 20%. Now, it's not the 29% that Hankook has put onto the website, sure, but remembering, sound inside a cabin, inside any car, is a combination of not just tyre noise, it's also from the wheel arches, it's from the design of the car and how wind goes over it. So anything that hits the windscreen, the BA pillars, the side mirrors, the glass that they use, is the Alcantara lining got some further additional lining behind it. There's a lot of different things that make cars quiet. Think Rolls Royce, for instance. Yeah, I can't afford a Rolls Royce, but you know what I mean. So just a 20% reduction is, in my book, great, and they definitely have confirmed what I thought was the case. But this is good. And then this table, look what happens. The car is now placed 10th on this list. That's a massive jump, and I'm happy. I'm very happy. So I hope that's helped. Again, just my result, yours may differ, but I think, check out if I put any links below for any sort of discounts. It might not be a thing, who knows? But if there is, great. Maybe consider super thanks or subscribe. they're very welcome. And otherwise, leave me a comment, ask me a question, and I'll see you real soon.